Paris was not just serving up frivolous fake drama to the press to get their attention. No, she was also gifting them plot lines involving much more serious real-life issues and racking up an extensive criminal rap sheet in the process. In September 2006, Paris Hilton was arrested by police in LA for driving under the influence of alcohol, and a couple of months later, her driver's license was suspended. Despite that, just a couple of months after that, she was stopped again, this time in her Bentley that was worth $190,000, which Paris was driving down Sunset Boulevard at night without her headlights on. It didn't take long for police to then find out that Paris was not supposed to be driving at all. But her spokesperson said this was all just a big mix-up because Paris just didn't realize that her driving privileges had been suspended.
I told the officer because I called my lawyer at that point, and they said you're allowed to drive for work-related purposes, and I was at a business meeting before that. I never would have driven on a suspended license. I get followed by paparazzi all day. Why would I, have the audacity to do that?
Now I'm going to call BS on that, seeing as the very next month, Paris was caught driving again, even though her license had been suspended. And by this point, the court had made it crystal clear she was not supposed to be behind the wheel. But again, she was driving at night without her headlights on, and this time she was going 70 miles per hour in a 35 mile per hour zone. So what was that about audacity, girl? Now, after all of these incidents, the court was not about to buy any more of her excuses, and the next time Paris stepped in front of a judge, he sentenced her to 45 days in jail. After he does, Paris screams, "It's not right," and starts crying and looking back at her parents and yelling for her mommy. But despite her tearful outburst, the jail sentence was in fact correct, and Paris was hauled off by sheriff's deputies.
I'm standing here with a very big surprise tonight. I mean, I heard you coming with all the paparazzi shouting your name. Welcome. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm obviously a little scared right now.
Paris Hilton is trying to be strong, but appearing at the MTV Movie Awards just one day before starting her prison term, she wasn't getting any help from comedian Sarah Silverman.
Paris Hilton is going to jail. I heard that to make her feel like more comfortable in prison, the guards are gonna paint the bars to look like penises. I just worry that she's gonna break her teeth on those things.
It's reported the 26-year-old hotel heiress has begun her 23-day jail sentence in a Los Angeles correction facility.
They want Paris Hilton out, didn't they? She thought she gonna get away. I'm a Hilton! I'm the white lady, I have blonde hair. No, I never go to jail. They said, when you finish raving and ranting, you got 22 days to do, God.
Paris Hilton went to jail. I hope an inmate kicked her tail. She thinks she doesn't have to follow the rules. She thinks we want to see her butt crack and her but we don't, Paris.
Now, obviously, tough times ahead for you, but you're here at the Movie Awards. Is there a reason why you came out here tonight?
It's fun, and I wanted to do something nice before I went off, so.
Yeah.
How about those who, they get a little, shocked when you know you're going to jail and they see you at the MTV Awards walking the red carpet? Doesn't that look like a contradiction?
Actually, I was playing a trick on everyone. Because outside my house, outside the Linwood facility, there was paparazzi I heard from all around the world. So I thought if I went to the MTV Awards, snuck out during the show, I could get there unnoticed, and that's what we did. No one even saw me going in.
How'd you like being in jail?
That's how you start.
Not too much.
What do you think? Do you think you did wrong?
Well, this all started off with the DUI, which was a .08. Granted, it was, one drink, but no one should do it. Yeah, it was really, really hard, but I don't feel like I deserved to go to jail for it.
You never felt you were a criminal?
No.
It's just bizarre when you think about it, isn't it? That this was part of your life, that this actually happened to you, that you were in prison, for God's sakes?
I can't believe it either, but it's made me a stronger person, so.
The purpose of jail is to teach a lesson.
Yes.
Well, at least that's a big part of it. Did it work with you?
Yeah, definitely. I have a new outlook on life. me, by doing my sentence and doing my time, I have served as a good example, and I want to continue to do so.
Even though you had no other choice but to serve your jail time, your attorneys had fought it every step of the way, and you yelled out, "It's not right," after the judge announced your sentence.
But I've moved on with my life, so I don't really want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, but I know. I would just say that a person in your position could serve now as, I think, an exemplary role model for youngsters, and they see now what has happened to you, and it might occur to them, my gosh, if it happens to someone, wealthy and famous and powerful, it might happen to me, so I better straighten my life out.
Exactly.
Yeah, this could be your legacy. This as a contribution to the young people of this country.
I just felt like this is a new beginning for me, just being in jail, and I just used it as a journey to figure out myself and who I am and what I want to do, and there's just so much more to me than what people think.
I love you, Paris!
Love you too.
Yeah. Somebody you met in prison?
Now, even though Paris was so busy grandstanding on all of these late-night talk shows about what a reformed person she had become, this would definitely not be the last time she'd get in trouble with the law, because a few years later, in 2010, Paris was arrested again, this time in Las Vegas for drugs. She was riding with her boyfriend in his Escalade when a cop got smacked in the face by the smell of marijuana coming from their vehicle, so Paris and her man were stopped by the cops, and as they were talking with police, she grabbed a tube of lip balm from her purse and accidentally pulled out a bag of cocaine at the same time, all in plain view of law enforcement.
Oh my God, watch her get arrested.
And you might be thinking, well, there's no getting out of that situation, but Paris tells the cops she was innocent and says this purse that she was holding wasn't even hers.
When Lindsay Lohan said they weren't her pants that she was wearing with cocaine stuffed in them, I thought I had heard it all. But now Paris Hilton says, yes, the money and the credit cards and everything else in the pocketbook's hers, except the cocaine. And it's not her pocketbook. Please.
Later, the gossip sites jump all over this story, and suddenly, an anonymous source is quoted everywhere saying the purse with the drugs could not have been Paris's because the bag was a lowly consumer brand that you could find in any old store, and it wasn't up to Paris's high fashion standards. And I gotta say, if this source was somebody on Paris's publicity team, then touche. Y'all deserve props for spinning a criminal drug charge into an opportunity to market Paris's brand as a wealthy heiress. And also, I gotta give you credit for amping up the suspense in this arrest story, because the source is also quoted as saying, this is a terrifying situation for Paris. She's scared stiff about what might happen. The idea of going back to prison sends a shiver down Paris's spine. A shiver down Paris's spine? Who talks like that in real life? This just sounds like a badly written soap opera script to me, but whatever the case, the source was clearly talking out of their ass, because the purse was in fact Paris's, and she later admitted that it was and had to fess up to the fact that she lied to the cops in the first place.
A frank admission from Paris Hilton. She did have cocaine in her purse and lied about it when arrested in Las Vegas on August the 28th.
I was in possession, as well as telling the officer that the bag wasn't mine, the purse.
After that admission, Paris was sentenced to 200 hours of community service, an obligation that she would later turn into content for her reality show, The World According to Paris.
Come on, you gotta wake up. We gotta go. You have community service. Come on. Suck a
Then Paris says, because of a little incident in Las Vegas last year, she has to do community service, which she says, quote, really sucks balls. On the way to community service, Paris asks, am I going to be working with like convicts and prisoner people? Which is a weird question because, girl, you got your own illustrious criminal record. But anyway, after she makes fun of the coordinator's outfit, then she stresses about getting paint on her expensive Louis Vuitton shoes.
You have to do community service on 2 hours. You are dragged out of bed by this assistant. You don't want to go. When she says you've got to do community service, you said, and I quote, it sucks. You complain that it hurts your high heels. All you're doing is painting a fence. Am I going to have to be with those prison people? I think you're an adorable girl. I really do. I don't think you have to do that. And I remember the last time we talked, you had served time in prison. and you learned a good deal, you said, and you were going to spend a lot of time helping fellow prisoners. Why not present that side of yourself, if indeed it exists?
I do it all the time, and when I'm on the show, it's supposed to be entertaining and funny, so I'll make silly little jokes. It doesn't mean I'm serious.
You've been watching an excerpt from my documentary on Paris Hilton called The Queen of Clickbait Trolls. If you want to watch the rest of that video, you can click the link in the description to see the full show. All right, thanks for watching. Bye, y'all.